Hi, today we're talking about approachability. I was doing a workshop with some new supervisors, and we were discussing what kind of supervisor they wanted to be. And several of them said, "Well, I want my direct reports to feel like they can come talk to me, that they can interrupt me, they can ask questions, that I'm available for them." So I explained that dimension is called approachability. And the definition is that they're easy to approach and spend the extra effort to put others at ease. They can be warm, pleasant, and gracious, is sensitive to and patient with the interpersonal anxieties of others, builds rapport well, is a good listener. So, the skills can be developed, but some people have physical or facial expressions or ways of communicating that can interfere. For example, I remember a couple of years and years ago when I first learned this. This was a vice president over a engineering group of about 600. And in his big meetings, where of course everybody wants to go to, he would have a habit of putting his hands up and using his hands like this, and people interpreted that as he didn't want to hear what they had to say, but really it was a physical reaction to, hey, too much coming at me. He was kind of a data person, and he did better if he could read the data or read the information rather than get it from several people in a meeting. The second one is a man that was administrator of a surgeon group, and the he was like the office manager, and he thought very deliberately. He didn't speak until he had thought about what he was going to say. So it was a lot slower coming out. He had a facial projection of that looked like he didn't really care because he didn't have a reaction. He didn't facially express anything. So he ultimately, because people think he didn't care. So he had to tell people, listen, I think about what you're telling me. I don't react. I don't get excited and I don't get upset. I can look like I don't care, but that's not true. If you tell me something and you're expecting a reaction, you're gonna be disappointed. But I will come back to you with ideas or thoughts about how we could resolve the situation or improve things or what have you, because he really did care. The second thing that often happens is that people confuse approachability with being liked. And usually people kind of outgrow that because they recognize after a while everybody's not going to like them. You can tell if when you have to tell a direct report something they don't want to hear, you're blaming someone else. So if you're saying, "Oh, my boss is making me do this," or "I have to do this because it's the policy," that's probably a signal for you to look at, what am I really motivated by here? Do I really want them to come up and talk to me? Or do I want to be liked? And then work on the need to be liked. So, if you are looking to develop some approachability skills, here are a few that you might try. One is speaking with warmth or revealing some vulnerability or setting expectations and expressing your desire to be helpful, listening carefully, empathetic listening response. There's a video on empathetic listening response that you might want to listen to. Last is the key of maintaining and enhancing self-esteem, which is saying something positive that you know to be true or that you believe to encourage the employee. All right, good luck on developing approachability.